Welcome to the High Ticket Success Podcast, where premium coaches, consultants, and advisors come for bold strategies, big breakthroughs, and real results. I'm your host, Dave Dubeau.
Hey, if you're a busy coach or consultant, you're working with clients, would it be nice to be able to clone yourself so you could be available to them 24/7? Or perhaps it'd be nice not to be getting calls from your clients at weird hours when they're in some sort of crisis, but still be able to provide them with quality service? Well, if you've ever wanted something like that, pay close attention to today's interview because my guest, Alice Chen, zooming in from beautiful San Francisco, has got a solution for us. So Alice, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, Dave.
So Alice, tell me a little bit about how you first got interested in the whole coaching space and how you kind of figured out that there was a gap that you were able to fill. How did that all come to be?
So I'm not a coach myself, although I have worked with many coaches over the years. So I have probably worked with at least 20 coaches. I'm also a big fan of personal development.
So you've had 20 coaches yourself helping you.
Yes. So whether it's business coach or a personal development coach, I right now have a hypnotherapist as well. I have a coach that kind of helps me with high performance habits. So name a coach, I probably hired them. So to give you a bit of background, so I'm a lawyer turned entrepreneur. In the last 16 years, I have founded, exited businesses, and am always looking for gaps in the market to solve problems. So this, this new venture that we have, which is buildmycoachbot.com, you can check it out. Where we provide the clone for coaches that want to provide support to their clients 24/7 on demand, came about because I was that client. And we have a company in our portfolio that's an AI-focused company. So we basically solve business problems with AI solutions, with automations. So for me as a client, as a client, sometimes you go through periods where you need a lot more support. Right. And I have, fortunately, coaches that offer on demand, maybe not on demand, but they make themselves available through WhatsApp channels and Slack channels where I can let them know, hey, this is going down. Like maybe I'm going through some sort of transaction or a stressful period because of personal reasons. I need support. Right. I'm triggered. Right. So typically, if I'm triggered, I try to contact my coach, but my coach is not always there. In that moment.
Especially if you're triggered at 2:00 in the morning or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Usually it's inconvenient time. So what's a coach to do, right? So a coach, I find that most coaches are very well-intentioned. They want the best for the clients, and yet they have a problem that they can't solve with time because time is not scalable. They only have so much time with the client, and yet they want to provide, the client with support in their tone of voice and in their methodology. So I ended up actually building a custom GPT with, the data, training on the data between my coach and myself. So whether it's just coaching session scripts, my coach's favorite books, my coach's white papers, and a lot of different data. Yeah. And so that was kind of the beta version of Build My Coach Bot. Now it's much fancier and stronger.
Okay, so just so I understand this, so you were working with a particular coach, and we won't get into whatever the issue was, but you found that you needed support from that person when they weren't available. So you took it into your own hand. You tried getting support, but it didn't quite work. So then basically you cloned your coach. You took all of their stuff, exactly. You took all of their recordings and all their white papers and whatever you had, fed that trained ChatGPT with that.
Yes.
And kind of cloned them. And then now when you had a challenge, you just typed in your custom ChatGPT what that was, and it was it was almost identical to getting that actual coaching from.
Yes, I would say it's 98% on point, and to the point where I was surprised at the level of accuracy. It sounds like my coach, and the methodology is the same. I shared this beta version of our product with my coach himself, and he was impressed. Like he was surprised. It doesn't remove the fact that I still enjoy having live sessions with my coach. I meet with him like twice a month, and then he gives me homework, to do. So all of that gets fed into this coach clone. And if I'm having an issue at a very inconvenient time, could be like 10 p.m. or 2 a.m., as you said, I'm not going to be able to get a response from my coach. It's unreasonable as a client to expect that. But I can type in my trigger or type in my issues into the chat GPT, into this custom GPT. And now, our product, of course, is way beyond that. And then I can get a response that's, I would say, 98% accurate. And I'm my coach, and I know exactly. My coach would even say, well, remember, these are the 10 things that you can do to reframe the situation or to kind of calm your nervous system. So it literally will gives me the exact steps. And it feels exactly like how I would feel when I'm talking to my actual human coach.
So why wouldn't people just kind of do what you did and kind of clone their own coach with their own chat GPT and run with that? How have you improved on that with the program, the product that you have now?
Yeah. So I think if it's a client that wants to do that, they can do that. I mean, most people don't know how to build custom GPTs. Yeah. So we offer a done for you service. So it could be a celebrity coach as well. Like it could be, Tony Robbins and, Brendan Burchard, like most of the celebrity coaches, they have all gone down this route of creating their own clones, digital clones. But as a client, like I'm also a big fan of certain people that I may or may not have a chance to train with in person. So Chris Voss, the FBI negotiator who wrote the book, Never Split the Difference, and Oren Klaff, I've actually worked with him personally. He's the author of Pitch Anything and, Flip the Script. So I wanted to build a super negotiator bot that advises me on, high stake negotiations because I negotiate and pitch deals for a living. So I am a client that actually was able to train a bot to become the super negotiator. I'm fusing multiple personalities and multiple methodologies. So our platform can be used doesn't necessarily just, gets used by coaches. It could be used by a client or someone that wants to have an advisor that emulates a specific person or multiple people. So for example, I have one that advises me on sales. It could be Alex Hermosi. So I can build an Alex Hermosi bot based on his books, based on his...
he's got so much content out there.
Podcasts. Yeah. So we offer a done for you system to help you build whatever bot or whatever advisor you need. But for the coaches, what's great is that they can offer, their digital twin to the clients for after hour support. So for subscription, monthly subscription of call it $500. Typically most coaches that we work with, it's more expensive. Like they charge more than $500 per session, right? But for additional $500 per month subscription, the client gets to access the coach on demand 24/7. Wouldn't that be great? So as a client or as a coach, wouldn't you want to offer that to your client? And we can also build done for you client-specific bots between the coach and the client that has specific context about the client. Because all the clients, they don't have the same issues. If you're a coach and you attempt to do this on your own GPT account, there's going to be this cross-contamination of data that's going to be a problem because client A has specific issues, specific confidential, just data that you don't want to share with another client. But by building this in not a segregated manner, like not in a very tech forward way, you then run into the issues of data contamination. So our software now we do it in a way that doesn't that makes sure that you don't run into that problem.
So basically, what I'm hearing you say is, if a coach is fairly chat GPT savvy, they might think, well, I can build my own bot for each client within my account. But what you're saying is, the more of these that you build, the more chat within one GPT account, the more chance there's going to be cross-contamination.
Correct. Yeah. So if the coach wants to offer this for, call it 10 of their best clients, they can probably create a second stream of income with this client-specific bot, call it $1,000, $2,000 a month, because the client will have a coach on demand on very specific things that they're working on. So they are going to run into problems if they try to set this up on their own account. So we have a way of segregating data so that we also, provide a white glove done for you service where we continue to help refine the data between the coach and the client. Because depending on how the client's evolving through their different contexts, like the data needs to change too. And same thing with the coach's methodology.
Maybe walk us through an example, Alice, if you would, of one of your typical coaching clients and how they've used this product.
Yes. Yeah. So let's say we have a client, Coach Michael, right? So Michael has a signature program. He offers a 6-month signature program where he meets with the client, call it 3 or 4 times a month, and he's helping them repurpose their career. So his clientele would be people that find themselves not passionate anymore with what they're doing. So they want to find a new purpose in life or in their work. So he has this signature.
But stay within the same career. Repurpose
or it could be a change. Just depends on the client. So typically what coaches run into is that after the signature program has been delivered, then the client gets off-ramped, and then they kind of lose touch with the client.
Right.
And then the client becomes, you just kind of like help them, but then you release them. So you don't have a way of keeping in touch with client, continuing to provide value to the client.
Right.
But
so after the 6 months, it's kind of done and off they go. Right.
Yes. But with this client, like a happy client with a coach, they would, of course, love to continue to do coaching with the coach, but it may not look the same way. It doesn't need to be this at the same intensity, because if you've done your job right, whatever you're working through the client, like that thing has been resolved, right? So the client is now onto their own new adventures, but they still would benefit from the coach's methodology and having a support system. It's like having a 24/7 advisor or board of advisors, board of directors, personal board of directors. So then the coach bot will act as that, but it gives the coach additional revenue stream, but it also provides the client with tremendous value because they continue to have interaction with the coach. And so, yeah, exactly. So the coach can use that as an additional kind of value added service, and either on its own or in combination with something else, maybe in combination with once a month a check-in or once a quarter check-in. So then you never lose touch with the coach because the coach is always there with you. And of course, Michael uses that during the signature program because as a coach, your highest and best value is when you're actually delivering original content with your client. So that gets delivered in your live sessions. If you're a one-on-one session or maybe you're one-to-many group coaching. But regardless, the after-hour support, I find that people typically would really appreciate. Whether you're a business coach, you're advising on transactions or business scaling, or you're a personal development, spiritual coach, you're advising on life issues, clients always appreciate after-hour support. So then by having subscription to even a generic bot, so this is not built on the specific interactions between the coach and that specific client. This is just a generic coach bot based on the coach's methodology. The client appreciates that. And this is why Tony Robbins has made Tony Robbins AI a big push, So he spent millions of dollars actually building his twin. And it's very fancy. You can actually see him talk and, interact with you. Ours is more like a chat. It's a chat bot, very easy to interface, just like how you would have a conversation on GPT. You won't see your coach's face. We're not at that level yet. Maybe one day we will go in that direction, but it's as though you always have your coach around with you, or you could build it. You can build whoever celebrity business person or celebrity coach that you want to get advice from. It doesn't have to be a coach driven process. It could be you could be the driving force of that.
Very, very interesting, Alice. Yeah, I've got a friend of mine, Dan Locke, that he's also based out of Vancouver.
Yes, he's a good friend of mine, actually.
Yeah.
Work together.
Okay. So he was telling me maybe he's working with you on this, but that's what they're kind of setting up these days, is the whole AI version of, because he's got a ton of content on high ticket sales and all this kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I understand. The big push that he's taking his company down is, instead of offering very expensive courses and training, it's more like, hey, we've put all of this in AI, and now you can sign up for a subscription, and you basically get all things Dan for
Yes.
A fraction of what it would cost to work with them live. So yeah, very, very different take on things, but I love where you're going with this. How long have you been doing this for, Alice?
Yeah, so this actually came up just this year. So I would say I'm not actually
2025?
2025. I'm not actually the most early adopter of AI, but I started to look into it and have AI be my co-pilot because my day job, if you will, is actually I manage a private equity fund focused on land development thesis in the U.S. And I actually wanted to see if I could just use AI as my co-pilot. And instead of hiring junior analysts, I decided to use AI. So when I was working on my investor deck, call it a year ago, typically it would probably take about 3 weeks of me working with as a junior person on everything like research, modeling, putting the deck together. It typically would take about 3 weeks. But I decided to use AI. And then, to my pleasant surprise, it took me 3 days. So that's when my eyes were open. And I was like, wow, like this is a game changer. I have to look into AI. So then that led me to invest in an AI agency where we have engineers that can customize workflows to help any business owners, of course, coaches. So it could be anything from lead generation to lead nurturing to taking care of any type of repetitive task and cloning yourself. I mean, the CoachBot is not just for coaches or for clients that want coaches. It's also for CEOs and managers that just shouldn't be spending time answering the exact same questions again and again and again. And even for me as a private equity fund manager, I get asked the same FAQs all the time. So I built an Alice Q&A bot where,
Nice.
if investors want to, or prospects or potential investors, they want to ask me more basic questions, my bot can actually interact with them first.
Nice.
And then I do the more higher level meetings. So yeah, it's just incredible.
So Alice, as we're wrapping up here, if somebody is a coach or consultant and loves this idea, where should they go to find out more and check out your program?
Yeah, so come to our website. It's buildmycoachbot.com. So over there, you will find our contact info, and we look forward to talking to you.
Awesome. Alice, thanks very much for being on the show and sharing what you're up to.
My pleasure.
All right, everybody, take care, and we will talk to you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the High Ticket Success Podcast. Want to be featured, share your story, and inspire other premium coaches, consultants, and advisors? Apply now at highticketsuccesspodcast.com/guest.